Out in front, up 1. Live from Brooklyn, New York, you're watching 2K Sports. The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He had 14 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about Denver?
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Points at the end of the quarter. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And we'll be right back after this. Joining us, that'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later. As we get ready to take a break, their defense has been terrific in this game. We've got more in store for you right after this. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started. Okay. Atlanta came ready to play. At one point, their devastating offensive assault pushed their lead out to 15 points. Playing comfortably, they strolled through the rest of quarter 1, leading by 12 points. Second quarter, not quite as good, but still managed to maintain control and enjoy a 7-point advantage at the break. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
Well, who would have thought they'd be leading at halftime? I didn't. They were big underdogs coming in. They played up to the level of their competition. If you thought they'd be intimidated by this matchup, think again. They definitely can't relax, though. We're going to have a fight on our hands all the way.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Charlotte?
Well, they shot under 40% in the first half. Here's your deficit. They missed some open looks, wide open. But overall, I thought the offense was stagnant. Look for their coach to draw up some specific plays to try to jumpstart them in the second half.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center.
True artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day.
Player of the game, Trae Young.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
He got an extra boost from the grief these fans were giving him here tonight. They were riding him hard all night, and he ate it up. Some guys just like being the villain, I guess. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. James Borrego had some words for his team over the break. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back, guys."
Wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This home crowd is elated about what they've seen so far. I'm Ernie Johnson. That's Shaquille O'Neal. That's Kenny Smith. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. Nothing seemed to give way on either side of the scoring column as they wrapped up the period all knotted up. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. Kenny, let's start with you. What'd you think about the Heat?
Well, they've gotten to the line tonight a lot. Basically, they're saying, I'm going to take it to you, and the only way you can stop me is to foul me. But here's the thing. If you're afraid to sacrifice your body, you'll never pick up a lot of free throws. So great job in the first half.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, one thing happened that really helped them out. Their bench came in and played absolutely beautiful. Gave them a huge boost. Not just trying to hold court, but actually putting points on the scoreboard. These guys should be starting, Ernie.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
Right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Yeah, those are the kind of plays that you want to put on a canvas. Just beautiful basketball.
Our Jordan player of the game, Myers Leonard.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their
For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Team. They kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. Back to the action after this word.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This home crowd is elated about what they've seen so far. I'm Ernie Johnson. That's Shaquille O'Neal. That's Kenny Smith. Josh Richardson having an outstanding game. He ended up with 15 points, 2 steals, and 5 assists. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, it has been an electric performance. These guys were firing on all cylinders. They came out aggressive, going after those rebounds, and they were piling it up. I think they wanted to send a message with their physicality, and they're going to be nearly impossible to stop if they're playing that way.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on Toronto?
They were not running an efficient offense. The shot selection has to improve. It's as simple as that. Too many guys working as individuals, not as a team. They need to work as a unit, Ernie. Move the ball.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we'll be back with you shortly.
This was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates, Greg. All about putting them in a position to score. That's
For
critical.
Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. See you later. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This home crowd is elated about what they've seen so far. I'm Ernie Johnson. That's Shaquille O'Neal. That's Kenny Smith. Bradley Beal putting in some incredible work. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Clippers?
I love it. You know why I love it, Ernie? Because they're getting the ball inside and converting. Not just sitting back behind the line shooting threes. See, that's kept the defense scrambling a little bit, unable to lock it on anything. Get it in, we'll kick it back out, then you shoot it.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Live from Washington. Our Jordan Player of the Game, Thomas Bryant.
And he's had a very good night shooting the basketball. A little over 50% from the field, and a lot of those shots have come against some tight D. That shows the level of his focus and consistency.
Williams, he's checked in for Paul George. He will go to overtime. We'll be back shortly, live from Washington. Good, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. And we'll see you next time. A big way on the boards in that quarter. We've got more in store for you right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. A pretty close game for the Kings throughout the first quarter. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. The second quarter was a tight battle, but they were the slightly better team. Not by very much, however. What'd you think about Sacramento, Kenny?
Well, they've been rewarded for dumping the ball inside, keeping the defense honest. You have to mix it up. A little bit outside, a little bit inside. Now that separates teams.
And Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
Well, the reserves came in and played like starters. Gave them some big points off the bench. It'll be no surprise to see them get more minutes in the second half. They definitely deserve it. Though sometimes when you get more minutes, you get exposed. We shall see.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Cruising game inside, and it's working for him. Right back after this break.
I'm glad glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute
it could be
perfect.
just
a slight tweak.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. To get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. We'll return shortly.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Damian Lillard has been having a big night. He ended up with 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. What'd you think about Portland, Kenny?
Love the versatility of Lillard as a scorer. He hits from deep as anyone, and this side of Steph Curry, I'm not sure who else. And then, wait a minute, you overplay him, and he takes you right to the rim.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Well, with the way they struggled to defend the three-point line, it started to look like warm-up drills. They cannot be afraid to bring more defenders out high. They got to make life tougher on those outside shooters.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
The third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Trailblazers out in front as they end the third quarter with an energy burst, a 19-7 run. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Absolutely tremendous. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. The first half was all about Karl Anthony Towns. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 10 rebounds. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Big Cat is like the poster child for the modern day big. Can score on all 3 levels. Efficient, hits for high percentages. Another one of those young stars who can be as good as he wants to be.
And over to Kenny, your takeaway on the Lakers.
Well, one problem I see is that they're too timid on the boards. When you start to fall behind in the game, you need to become more aggressive on the offensive glass and the defensive glass.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
Century mark, 25 points for him in this game, as they have looked to him over and over to make things happen. We'll get right back to the action when we return. That's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.